welcome back to another video. Is everybody good? Everybody's safe right now? I know the corona is kind of crazy right now, but I'm just making sure everybody's good. A trick that I learned from this little corona virus is if you sing happy birthday song 3 times while washing your hands, it's enough time to kill all the germs with soap and water. So yeah, try that. Try it at home. Happy birthday song 3 times and all the germs go away. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to another video today. It's a special video today. There's a lot of questions that people and student athletes and everybody in the world have about women's basketball. Well, Chantel and I decided to get some answers. You wouldn't believe who we got on the show today. You just won't believe it. But yeah, I won't ruin it. I'll play the video right now. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, right, put it in the comment section. Or you can DM us. I'll put our social media accounts in the description below. Ask away. Enjoy the video. Stay safe out there. And remember, wash your hands. Peace.
Wait, so I want you to talk about how it is playing in the WNBA.
Wow. Playing in the WNBA was always a dream growing up. I never really thought of anything else, so it was kind of like plan A, and I didn't really have a plan B. But I love my job. It's really hard. It's a lot different than people think. It is like super, obviously fun to play basketball and get paid for it. But at the same time, it's a grind, and you really have to be a pro. And I think the one thing that people kind of fail to realize is how good the WNBA is. There's only 144 of us, and every year, very few players retire, and you always have a new set of college players trying to come into the WNBA. So competition is extremely tough.
Nice. What's the biggest difference from college to the league?
Biggest difference from college to the league is, besides the fact that there's so much more physicality and speed, it's just completely different. I would say the opportunity to be yourself is a lot. Like in college, if you're the best player on your team, you get 20 shots a game, and if you make 10 of them, you played well or whatever. That's it. The WNBA, everyone was their best player on their college team. Now they're on a different team in the league. And I would just say your role changes, and so to be able to kind of figure out what you're good at while still maximizing the team, that's probably the hardest part, I would say.
Okay. Can you talk about your experience playing overseas?
Yes. For the past 2 years, I played in Istanbul, Turkey for Fenerbahce. So we played EuroLeague and Turkish League. So you play 2 leagues simultaneously. So EuroLeague would be like Friday night, and Turkish League would be like, I don't know, Tuesday. And EuroLeague is all across Europe. So I played in France, Hungary, Poland, Russia, Spain, and then Czech Republic, and then like Turkish League is obviously cities in Turkey. It's very different than you might think, because obviously there's a language barrier. You're in a foreign country, but I think the hardest part is just not being able to be around your family and friends, like the community that you've built in the States. So you really kind of lean on your American teammates just to kind of get you through it. And it's just different. Like the style of play is different. The way that they coach and the way that they communicate is very different. So I think you just have to be very like nonchalant. Like nothing can affect you. You just have to go out there and do your job, because that's why you're there.
Great answer. Okay. Can you talk about the process of like picking an agent? Like, how does that work?
Okay, great question. So picking an agent is a little bit different for everyone. So when you get into your senior year, and as your year goes on, and probably mid to late conference season, and then post-conference tournament and NCAA tournament, agents will approach your college coach, and some coaches have different preferences on whether you should be able to talk to your agent before you declare or after. But the NCAA does allow just to be able to have a little bit of communication with your family. So anyways, when you go through that process, you basically, agents come to you, and everyone's good at different things, and so you kind of have to see what's right for you. And in the women's game, like, to be honest, options are pretty limited. There's not a ton of agents, and your agent is really important because overseas, that's where you're going to get paid the most money, and so you need an agent to be able to have plugs and fight for you and get their clients into the right programs and get paid well. So I think finding that agent that works for you, that aligns with your values and what you want, is super important. But anyways, they'll come to you right after you finish your eligibility, whether that's, NCAA tournament or whatever. You'll sign with them, and then the WNBA draft is not even a week later. So it happens really fast, and you kind of have to, I think, do your homework and do diligence ahead of time, because once you make your decision, there's really not much time. So I would say, too, I was very fortunate to have people in my corner that kind of helped me navigate that all, so I didn't have to deal with that during my season. And some of my college coaches really helped me with that, and it made the process pretty seamless.
Okay, so you're one of the few that, gets endorsements. So can you talk about that? How does that work? Is your agent involved with that type of stuff, etc.?
Yeah, so an endorsement usually comes from the company to your agent. It can come sometimes too, like if a company wants to work with you, they can hit you up on social media or your email. And basically, all deals are different. Some deals are more money driven, some deals are more product driven. When they present you with an offer, your agent negotiates based on what you want. And like I said, your values kind of align with. Sometimes I've said no to things that I don't feel comfortable doing, or I don't agree with, or I'm not just super interested in the product. Like, I'm going to do something that I actually use or eat or whatever the case may be. But anyways, they'll come to you, they'll give an offer, your agent will negotiate, you'll sign the contract. Every contract is different. Sometimes it's a 3-year, sometimes it's a 1-year, sometimes it's a 5-year. Sometimes it's paid, sometimes it's, like I said, just gear or whatever the product is. And either they have stipulations about how you post on social media, or maybe you have to show up to an event that they created for whatever product it is. So it really just depends on your agent really being super important in navigating those things. And also, too, your agent can go out and get deals for you. If you're interested in something that you like to do, if you have a good agent, they can go out, reach out to the company. Companies want to work with players, especially female athletes, because there's not a ton of us. So having an agent that is interested in you is, I guess, the end goal there.
Great answer, Plum. Great answer. Okay.
Thanks, honey.
Okay. So adversity is inevitable, right? This generation of kids, they're pretty entitled. So when they run, when stuff gets hard, they run. Mm-hmm. So, like, what advice could you give them, like, when adversity hits? How can they still use that to achieve their goals that they have?
It's a great question. You said adversity is inevitable. 100% true. I think when adversity hits, the first thing you have to look at is why is this happening, and what can I do to get through it, to make myself better. And I think for me, I'm really grateful for the adversity that I've had in the last couple of years, because I understand that it's built my character, probably where character wouldn't have been built if life was just so easy for me. I think as an athlete, or even a person in general, when adversity hits, you have an option to either fight through it and figure it out to get to the other side, or you can play the victim card and you can roll over. And I think you just have to decide and make that conscious choice that this is what I want, and this is the goal, and this is who I want to be. And if you're willing to push through it, it always works out. So I think it depends on the person, but you're right. We are in a microwave generation. We want instantaneous results, and we really don't want to have to go through much to get there, which is just, it's hilarious, because life is like the complete opposite of that. And if you look at successful people in any element of whatever that's business, sports, politics, whatever, people do not show up overnight and create success. I mean, it's literally years and years of failure. So I would just say for me, I try to fail forward. So eventually I know that I'm making steps to get where I want to go.
Wow. Almost shed a tear there. What a great answer. Okay, last one. Your advice to high school athletes picking college. Did you hear my last question?
Start over. I didn't even know what you said.
I said, last question. What would be your advice to high school athletes picking a college?
Who are you playing with? First of all, at the end of the day, like, yeah, you have coaches and trainers and facilities and whatever, but who you're on the court with and who you share the locker room is who you're going to spend the most time with. So I think really looking hard at your teammates and how you fit with them. Also, too, not everyone's the same. It's okay to be different, make a different decision. And I think you have to find out what works best for you. So when I was choosing, I had to write down what I valued and what I wanted. And when I wrote that down, I think it became very clear, this is the school for me, based on who I was playing with.
Of course.
And just different elements, like getting an opportunity to play right away was really important for me. Getting an opportunity to try to build something was really important. I didn't want to just join them, it's a lot more fun to beat them, huh? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everyone's different, and that's okay.
Well, Plum, I appreciate you actually coming on here and talking about this. So we're done here though, but really appreciate your time. You're just the best.